Welcome to F1 World, a journey through the sport that will offer you events based around casual or competitive play, single player or multiplayer, fun versus realism, and everything in between. As you play, you'll earn upgrades that can be equipped to your car and team in the garage, increasing your tech level and giving you the performance you need to tackle greater challenges. Along the way, you'll find new ways to customize your car and character, earn trophies for your trophy cabinet, and much more. So when you're ready, jump into the play screen and take your first steps into F1 World. This is your garage. As you play F1 World, you'll earn upgrades, which can be equipped here to improve your tech level. Upgrades are split into car parts and team members. Team members require a contract in order to be equipped. As well as improving your tech level, upgrades also offer gameplay mods that can change how your car and team perform on track. New items you've acquired appear here. We've got some, so let's go and open them and see what you've got. This is what we call the play screen. It's basically your jumping off point for all the different ways you can play F1 World. Feel free to explore, have a good look around, and when you're ready to get your journey going, just select Series from the list and we'll go from there. Welcome to the Series screen. Each series of events has objectives that can award you items such as upgrades and resources that can be used to improve your tech level. Completing a series can unlock further series, exploring more and more of the world of Formula One.
Well, a warm welcome from the commentary box to this F1 World event. What a glorious day this could be for one. It's one of the shortest laps on the calendar today then, with 7 rights and just 3 lefts, making up the 10 corners of this high-speed circuit. Turn 2 is barely a corner at all. They'll be flat out through there, a left-hand kink into the uphill braking zone of Turn 3. Turns 1, 3 and 4 are all potential opportunities to overtake. And as our drivers line up on the grid, they'll be staring off and up into the distance. Turn 1, up the hill, a great place to make up positions if you're down the race order. Now, Anthony Davidson, take me back to when you first made your debut and give us some practical advice today for our F1 World debutante.
Well, yeah, I mean, Crofty, it can be an intimidating time, definitely rocking up for your first big event like that. But you've got to have faith in your own abilities and have faith in the practice that you've put in at this point. And, you know, I would say above anything else, just go out there and enjoy it and try to finish unscathed as well. Easier said than done when it's your first big competition. Just keep your nose clean and get through to the end. That's the best advice I can give.
Not the start we were looking for, but it's not over yet. Stay focused. DRS now enabled. DRS enabled. overtake and burn off some of this energy. Okay, this is your final lap of the race. You're losing 2 seconds a lap to the car behind, 2 seconds. Look out for a bit of understeer when trailing the car ahead. They're going to be giving off dirty air, which is going to affect our tyres, so try to get past. Oh yes, clean racing and you hit the target. You know I expect that now every week.
A fantastic team effort then to secure victory here in the Styrian Alps.
It was a joy to watch today, honestly, because the driver was clearly able to read the conditions well on track, to use the information properly from the team, and usually come up with the right...
Well, I'm thoroughly exhausted after the excitement of that race, but I'm sure it's not... It's been a thrilling day of F1 World action, but there are more to come in the future. So follow us and join us once more.
Nice one! You've just earned an upgrade. Upgrades can be equipped to your F1 World car and will increase your tech level. The higher your tech level, the more events you'll be able to take on, so it's important to equip upgrades whenever you can. Upgrades can be equipped in the garage, so it's worth going there now to equip your new upgrade. It's time for you to start. This is where you choose your favourite F1 constructor and driver. Once you've made your choices, you'll be part of their fan zone for the remainder of the active F1 World season. Furthermore, your choices will grant you access to exclusive fan zone rooms with like-minded members and also allow you to start earning fan points to help your zones win the Fan Zone Championship.
And it's McLaren.
Ready, check.
is the Fan Zone widget and will be your end. It'll let you know how many This icon means that this is a licensed event. Like Clean Drive, you can choose. There are bonuses and benefits to driving under a higher license level. So,
And welcome from the commentary box to our latest F1 World event. The prize today is victory, but that prize can only be won by one. It's not where you start, it's where you finish. Our F1 World drivers have had many ups and downs as they progress to this moment in their F1 World journey. But who will taste victory today and who will go home empty-handed? We've got to the middle part of the season, Anthony Davidson. There are lots of points on offer here, and there have been lots of points on offer and attained by our driver at the start. So how do they maximise that start?
Everybody's got a coulda, woulda, shoulda story around this time of the year, Crofty, and it's easy for you to feel like the victimised one. But like I say, everybody's been through that, and they could have all scored more points, of course. So focus on the here and now, and control the things that you can control. What's happened has happened. Just, it's time to move forward.
Accidents are... Okay, so you can use the controls to either pause, fast forward or rewind, and once you've found exactly where you want to go...
now use DRS. DRS now available. You might experience some understeer now that you're in the wake of the car ahead. Try to get past as soon as possible. Okay, you've just started the final lap of the race. Final lap. Mate, you're bringing home a trophy, you're on the podium, and I don't have to fix the car.
A great display of dominance today, Crofty, by this driver. They led from lights out to the flag at the end, led every lap of the race. Brilliant stuff by them, and excited to see what more they can do in future races.
Welcome then to the podium, our top three drivers. What a great effort from them today in a very difficult race. Well, what happened on the track today will surely, no doubt, come back to excite us once more. These drivers competing throughout the season and giving us brilliant entertainment. So why not join us again next time for more of the same?
This is your super license. Tied to your super license is your Fan Zone expression label. That will be presented across F1 World to other players. Currently, it's showing your constructor Fan Zone choice. Select the Edit Expression option to view the other expression labels you can choose from. This is where you can swap the expression label on your super license. Each new F1 World season, you will make new Fan Zone choices, and when you do,
Welcome along, ladies and Now, you're the racing driver in this partnership, so tell us about this racing driver. Put us in their shoes. How are they going to be feeling?
Okay, the start was fine. Let's try and move forward. Okay, DRS is now available. Battery charge is high. Let's use that overtake button a bit more. Okay, mate, this is the final lap of the race. Final lap. Well, mate, that was great stuff, but I feel like you've not done yourself a favour there because now the expectation is right up there every time.
That's it then for another spectacular Grand Prix here in Austria. And a truly magnificent drive to hang on and take the win.
I mean, it looked like they were in a different category at points during the race, led every lap. I mean, what more can we say?
The faces on our top three look so incredibly happy as they make their way up to the podium. Well, the prize in the eyes of our winner today is there for all to see. But next time, who knows who might be standing on top of that podium? Join us again next time for more thrilling F1 World action. Welcome along, everybody, to our latest F1 World event. There might just be a single prize for victory, but there are so many stories. As the drivers finish their grid preparations, looking out for the famous chicane at turns 1 and 2, they'll know it's very easy to lose control and grid position. But also, it's possible to gain it too. I know what we've got to do before the start of today's race, but what about our driver? What do the final hours look like for them?
Well, for them, you've got your pre-race rituals that you go through. You see different drivers that, some have got their headphones on, they're listening to the music. Some drivers really absorb the energy from the crowd and they're there waving to them. Other drivers, they go within themselves. They chat to their engineers, absorbing that information, that vital information that you need to carry you through the race. And, those pre-race rituals are essential to making things systematic. We do a lot of Grand Prix in a season, and the more systematic you can be, the easier you are within that environment.
Let's focus now for the rest of the race. DRS now enabled. DRS enabled. Great manoeuvre. You made it look so easy. Watch out for understeer in the wake of the car ahead. Try to get past as quickly as you can. Push, push. That was far too aggressive, mate. Clean passes only. We don't want a penalty. Okay, mate, final lap. Keep your concentration and let's bring it home. Mate, what was going on there? Were you bored out there and had to get in some scraps to make it more exciting?
Here we are then, a thoroughly deserved win in Italy after another excellent Grand Prix.
To witness such mastery of these conditions, these changeable conditions that we saw today, is very impressive indeed. So a huge congratulations to this driver for taking victory today.
A show-stopping performance from the three drivers approaching the podium right now. It's been an interesting Grand Prix, that's for sure. So many races, so many stories. Who knows what the next chapter has in store for us all? So join us next time out for more thrilling F1 World action. We've got more F1 World action for you today, so welcome along, ladies and gentlemen, and pick your favourite driver to follow. And as our drivers line up on the grid, it's eyes on the competition. But for each and every one of our drivers in the cockpit, it's eyes on the prize. And that prize is victory. Look, we know it's not where you start, it's where you finish. But let's talk about the start now. What's there to help the drivers get away well?
Big pressure at the start of the race, Crofty, for all of them up and down the grid, no matter where you are. But the drivers these days, they practice, practice and practice. They have rigs with them at the circuit where they can sit down with the actual steering wheel from the real car.
That start was okay, now stay alert for threats around you. DRS now available. Nice move, good job. Final lap, push, push. understeer when trailing the car ahead. They're going to be giving off dirty air, which is going to affect our tyres, so try to get past. Yes, good stuff. That is a good day's work. We hit the target and you brought it home cleanly.
They led from lights out to the flag at the end, and their race victory was never in doubt, was it? Brilliant stuff by them.
Here comes your top three making their way down to the podium for what can only be described as a fantastic day for Formula One. We've gone wheel to wheel, we've seen thrills and spills. Who knows what's coming next? So join us again for more F1 World action.
When you're equipping a new team member, each contract bestows a no. Goals are optional challenges that you can complete for extra awards. When you've completed one, be sure to come back and claim what you've won. Ranked is our competitive multiplayer arena, where players compete each week to move up through the ranked divisions. Select What are divisions for more details. Invitationals are cooperative events you can take on with other players to earn cool prizes. When you acquire an invitational within F1 World, you'll be able to open it here and start a lobby. Or you can join another player's invitational lobby here. For more info, check out this help page. Completing event objectives is a great way to earn extra rewards that will help you to progress through F1 World. Events update regularly, so be sure to check back each day or each week to see what's on offer.
We've got more F1 World action for you today. Welcome along, everybody, as we look down at our grid. Who's your driver to follow? With top speeds of around 210 miles per hour heading into the overtaking opportunity of turn 13, the 2.7 miles of the circuit Gilles Villeneuve are some of the quickest on the Formula One calendar. There are 14 corners in total, with 60% of the lap taken at full throttle, and average speeds clock in at about 130 miles per hour. Many tricky corners and fast straights here at the circuit Gilles Villeneuve, but our drivers will be wondering just how they avoid the wall of champions. It's great to see it, but you don't want to go too close. We're midway through our F1 World season. You've been watching the action keenly alongside me. Lots of points on offer at the moment. So how do you maximise that good start? Who's looking good to carry on their good form?
Well, this is a great time for drivers to really reflect on the first part of the season. This could be the right time to have a mental turning point and change things around if things haven't gone really well. Or you can just look back on the good things you've done in the first part of the season and make sure you keep that going.
Start was fine, let's try and move forward. Okay, DRS is now available. We've got a lot of spare energy, okay to use your overtake button. Okay, final lap, let's go, final lap. Okay, good work, great pass. That is some great, clean racing right there, mate. And you hit the target. Well done.
That's it for another magnificent Canadian Grand Prix, and they've hung on to take a sublime victory here today.
Wow, that race really kept us on our toes with the ever-changing weather conditions. It is so unpredictable when you're in the car, with visibility being limited to know exactly what's going on. So the driver really made some great calls in this situation.
Well, what a thrilling end to an incredible Grand Prix weekend. Our top three finishers should be incredibly happy with what they were able to achieve out there today. Well, it's been glory for some, less so for others. But who knows? The tables might turn next time out. Plenty more races to come this season, so join us again. It's F1 World.
Great job. Completing all those goals has earned your team valuable experience, and now you can start to explore vendor goals. Now you can go ahead and select vendor goals to check them out. These team members have more goals for you to take on. Each has their own area of specialization and offers goals relating to that speciality. So let's explore them now. Taking on a vendor goal requires investment, in other words, cash, but the rewards are always worth it. Be aware that you can only have a certain number of vendor goals active at the same time, so pick the areas that you want to pursue carefully and look for ways to be efficient.
Well, we didn't hit the target today, so there's definitely room for improvement there, but you did bring it home cleanly, so I'll take that. Let's focus now for the rest of the race. DRS now enabled. DRS enabled. Nice work, mate. That brings you up a place. Tyre condition still looking good. Okay, gap to the car in front, 0.8 seconds. Let's use overtake and burn off some of this energy. Okay, this is your final lap of the race. The racing was clean and I'm really pleased about that, but we have got to work on moving through the field quicker.
Welcome to my team, where you're in control of a new team on the F1 grid. First things first, choose what kind of experience you'd like. If you're new to the series and want to jump straight in, well, we've got recommended settings for you just here. On the other hand, if you're familiar with the F1 game, that's it. It's
As the owner of the newest team in F1, your first job should be introducing yourself to the team. Now we know a bit more about you. Let's explore your background ahead of our first season. Hey there, my name's Andrew. I'm your head of personnel. It'd be useful for the team to know a bit more about your background. Give them a sense of how you intend to lead our efforts. And tell us a bit about this HQ. How well developed are the facilities here ahead of our debut season?
Hello, Mathis, head of your engineering facility. Let's discuss where we think we are in terms of car performance.
Hey, boss. I'm Anissa. I head things up in your corporate facility. Let's discuss our financial situation.
Right. With all that out of the way, our next task is to finalize our team's visual identity, our official name and branding.
Next up, there's an amount of contract work we need to get nailed down. We have a few potential sponsors lined up. Each contract splits our income in 3 ways. A signing bonus that we receive now, a weekly income paid over the course of the season, and finally, a bonus at the end of the season, if we achieve the goals set out in the contract. This is our title sponsor, which are responsible for the bulk of our team's income. While much of that income is paid weekly, a large part is dependent upon us meeting our contractual obligations and hitting our seasonal goal. As we develop our relationship with this sponsor, we'll increase their loyalty, which over time can result in further benefits. That said, as our team's fan rating grows, we may be able to attract more valuable title sponsors. So, knowing when to prioritize building loyalty over the financial benefits of a more lucrative sponsor is something we'll need your guidance on.
Secondly, we have to make a call on which engine supplier we want to work with this season. Generally speaking, our choices can be defined as a trade-off between performance and durability, with the caveat that neither come cheap.
And finally, let's talk drivers. Obviously, we need 2 of them, so let's start with our first one. Each driver's performance is measured in a number of ways. Experience counts for a lot, and drivers with more on-track experience will have an advantage over less experienced competitors. Racecraft describes a driver's ability to work their way through the pack to finish the race higher up than where they started. Awareness represents the driver's skill at avoiding the steward's room. The higher this stat, the less likely they are to pick up warnings and penalties. Pace is a measure of sheer speed. Outside of battling their opponents, how good are they at pulling out consistent fast laps? All these stats contribute to the driver's overall rating, while focus represents their current state of mind and how well they're leveraging their rating out on track. All right, that's one driver locked down.
That all looks solid. Good choices and all within our budget. Feel free to review your choices if you want, but otherwise I think we can move on.
I think that's everything, boss. If you're happy with all of this, give us the nod, and we'll get everything moving. And if not, feel free to go back and review your choices.
Hello and welcome to this very special live stream. Great to be with you all because today we're going to witness history.
That's absolutely right, Natalie, because for so many years we've wondered exactly what 11 teams would look like on the grid. Guess what? Today is the day we find out.
And we are here at the team's state-of-the-art HQ. We'll be seeing their brand new car very soon, but behind every team, behind every car, there's one person central to it all.
Yes, and they've been described as somewhat of an engineering genius, coming up with all the ideas to push the car and the sport to its limits. The question is, though, will they be able to step out of their comfort zone to deal with all the things that come with being a leader, dealing with the team's finances, sponsors, motivating the team and the drivers? Will they be able to juggle that, or will they drop the ball?
And we'll be seeing more behind the scenes as the season progresses. But of course, it is all about what happens on track. So, without further ado, let's see the fruits of their labour, the brand new 2025 car.
Well, thank you all for joining us. The team have done an incredible job. The car looks sensational.
It certainly does. Congratulations and all the very best for the season ahead.
Welcome to your Team HQ. This is the hub of the team's operations, and it's probably worth having a look around, familiarizing yourself with the different areas you'll be responsible for directing. You can use these options to navigate around your HQ. Keep an eye out for notifications. I think Madison Engineering was looking for you earlier, and they were asking for you in corporate as well. You should catch up with them before we proceed further. Oh, and as you look around, keep an eye out for this message. It appears wherever you can summon more information. It's a very useful reference if you want to start digging into the finer detail of how the team functions.
Hey boss, thanks for coming down. First GP's not far away now, and people are starting to roll off the project as we get more and more of the... As it stands, we already have some resource points, data from testing, that we can use to kickstart our research efforts. We just need to know where you want us to start. Let's go pick an upgrade to research. I need you to kick the team off on an upgrade project before you leave, Chief. This is where we choose our research projects. Research and development are split into 4 departments: aero, powertrain, chassis, and durability. Pick one of these departments and let's go choose the first research project you'd like us to tackle. Copy that. That feels like a good place to start. I'll get the research team on it.
Welcome to the personnel facility. All the money and technology in the world won't help this team if we don't have the right people in place, and this is where we focus on achieving just that. Obviously, some of the most crucial hires on the team are the drivers, and managing our relationships with both current and future drivers is a big part of what we do here. But the team is much more than just the drivers. Each facility is staffed by experts representing the top of their respective fields, and managing them is also our responsibility. This is where we manage our discussions with drivers, both our drivers and other drivers we might be interested in signing in the future. These slots are for our current drivers. We're obviously much closer to these two than anyone else, but it's still an important job each year, figuring out what's important to them and where their long-term aspirations lie. But we also have to be prepared for the future. If we lose one of our drivers, or if we feel we have a better prospect, it's important to have done the groundwork to allow us to negotiate with a new driver. Or more than one. Just be cautious. The more drivers we engage with, the more likely it is that our current drivers will get wind of it, and that can very much affect how they feel about us, and about their future in our team. I've reached out with a very early preliminary inquiry to their side. I'll let you know how it goes. Hard to get a read on it at the moment. These things are always fluid and move quickly, but if they're interested in us, I'm sure things will move a bit quicker. Each of your facilities has a number of staff members. The more staff you have in a facility, the more productive it will be, but the more it will cost to run it. Facilities automatically recruit staff over time up to the current cap. But if you want to limit expenditure, you can reduce that cap. Be aware, reducing the cap to below your current workforce will cause the excess staff to be made redundant. And even if you raise the cap later, it will take time to rehire those roles and get back to the previous staff levels. Beyond that, making a lot of staff redundant in a short space of time can have a chilling effect upon both morale of the remaining staff and hiring rate. Okay, this is the facility improvement screen. Here are the improvements you can currently schedule for this facility. You can access the other facilities and explore their improvements from these tabs. Some improvements need us to have completed other improvements first. If an improvement is blocked, it will be listed here, along with information on which improvements we need to complete first in order to unblock it. Each improvement will provide us with an ongoing benefit, but they each also increase the size of that facility. As the facility gets bigger, it will unlock higher levels of that facility, which in turn unlock further improvements for us to pursue. Okay, I'll book in a meeting with the contractors and we'll get that started.
Hello, boss, and welcome to corporate. This is the hub for the team's finances, our corporate identity, and for our ongoing sponsor relations. Speaking of which, it's important to ensure that our new sponsors are reflected in our team's livery before we head to the first race weekend. Select customization, and let's go finalize the livery design. From here, select race gear. We want to focus on the car, so select the car option. This is where you can define the look of your car, liveries, driver number, and sponsor decals. Right now, we're focused on sponsors, so let's select this option. This is the decal editor, where you can apply sponsor decals to your car. Part of what we do here in corporate is build up our family of sponsors. So, over time, we'll have more of them to display on the car. The more secondary sponsors you feature on the car, the more money we'll make. But be aware, there are diminishing returns. Use this selector to focus on different areas of the car and start adding some sponsor decals. Nice one. If you're happy with that design, then that's what we'll go with.
Okay, seems like everyone has what they need. If there's nothing else you want to do today, feel free to advance time from this menu. This will skip ahead to the next critical event, but don't worry. If anything comes up between now and then, myself or the other facility heads will interrupt and let you know. Accolades are milestones, representing your team's growing history and prestige within the sport. By completing these accolades, you will improve your team's fan rating, which unlocks various bonuses and also affects how the drivers view your team and its prospects. Your team's standing on the grid is measured in two ways: fan rating and sentiment. Fan rating is a measure of your team's prestige and history in the sport and can be increased by completing accolades. Whereas sentiment is more dynamic, a measure of your recent performance both within the current season and looking back to previous seasons. As your fan rating increases, you will earn not only a one-off award for each fan rating level, but also ongoing bonuses that benefit the team. Positive sentiment can unlock more bonuses relative to your fan rating, whereas negative sentiment can temporarily disable bonuses you've earned until your sentiment improves. The combination of fan rating and sentiment will affect many aspects of your career, so keep tabs on them at all times.
Hey, Chief. Just a reminder to kick off some research projects. We don't want to fall behind our rivals, and we haven't got anything in the pipeline at the moment. Thanks. The research group have delivered a... Here's the upgrade we've researched. Selected to start development. So it's up to you whether to kick this development off now or not. But when you do, you'll want to consider how you want to develop it. Certain options won't be available until you've invested a bit more into improving this facility. But the important thing to think about is that you need to develop 2 copies of the part, one for each of your driver's cars. If you only have a single part when you get to a Grand Prix, you'll need to visit the Assign Upgrades area to decide which driver's car to prioritize. Sorry to disturb. Need you for a moment, please, boss?